Welcome back to my channel. Today I will share with you the true story of the perseverance of my friend Rohan, a poor but determined boy. They told him to stop dreaming. They said, "Rohan, English is for rich city people. You are a farmer's son. You will always be a farmer's son." They told him his future was already written. This video is his answer. This is not a lesson about grammar. This is a lesson about survival. If you are lost, if you are poor, if you feel like your life is stuck, this video is for you. Because I will show you how he is changing his life. Not with money, not with a big school, but with his voice. I will show you how he learned to talk about his entire day in English, even when he had nothing, even when he was alone. Because if he can do it, you can do it. His dream is to get a job in a big city, to help his family, to build a new life. And English is the key. This is not a game for him. This is his fight. Let's watch his fight. Let's begin. Chapter 1. He wakes up. He wakes up. It is 5 a.m. The sun is not here yet. The room is dark. His village is quiet. He opens his eyes. His body feels tired. He worked hard yesterday. He wants to sleep more. But his dream is bigger than his tiredness. He sits up on his small mat. He doesn't have a big soft bed. He sleeps on the floor. He takes a deep breath. The air is cool. His day is beginning. He says to himself, "Good morning." These are his first English words today. His family is sleeping in the other room. He must be quiet. But he speaks the words, softly, "Good morning." He wants to speak English every day. So he starts now. Even if he is alone, he says, "Good morning." It feels strong. His voice is quiet, but he hears it. He understands it. That is a big step. He gets out of bed. He stretches his arms. He says, "I stretch my arms." He feels his muscles. They are tired from yesterday's work. He walks to the bathroom. It is outside. He says, "I go to the bathroom." He looks at his face in a small, broken mirror. He smiles. Then he says, "I brush my teeth." He picks up his toothbrush. He says, "This is my toothbrush." He starts to brush. 1, 2, 3. He counts in English. It helps him stay in the language. Then he washes his face. The water is cold. It wakes him up. He says, "I wash my face." He looks in the mirror again. He says, "I look tired, but I feel strong." These small sentences help him. They are his secret. They are part of his day. They are part of his practice. He goes back to his room. He gets dressed. He says, "I put on my clothes." He chooses a shirt. It is an old shirt. He says, "This shirt is blue." He wears pants. He says, "These are my pants." He sits on his mat again. He takes 1 minute. He looks outside. The sky is now light gray. He says, "It is morning," or he says, "It is cloudy." Every sentence is a chance. Every sentence is learning. At first, it felt strange, talking to himself in English. His family thought he was crazy. But now, it feels normal. It is his secret way to practice. He doesn't have money for a class. He doesn't have a partner to speak with. He only needs to talk about his real life. And morning is the best time, because every day starts the same. He can say the same words again and again. That is good for learning. When he started, he didn't know what to say. He only knew a few words: wake up, brush teeth, eat. But he said them every day, and his brain started to remember. The words got easier. The sentences got longer. Now he says, I wake up at 5 a.m., I brush my teeth, I wash my face, I feel ready. These are small steps, but they are big wins. Sometimes he uses his old phone. He opens the camera. He looks at himself. He says, Good morning. Today is Monday. I feel happy. I will work hard. He records it. He listens. He smiles. He is learning. Even if it's not perfect, it is progress. That gives him hope. Many learners don't speak because they wait for a perfect sentence, but he doesn't wait. He cannot wait. His future depends on this. He speaks, even if it's simple, even if it's slow. He speaks, because this is how he grows. And you can grow too. You don't need big grammar. You don't need hard words. Just say what you do, say what you see, say what you feel. In the morning, he says, I am sleepy. After his cold water, he says, I feel better. He looks in his bag. He says, This is my notebook. This is my pen. These are the things he uses. These are the words he needs. English is all around him. He only has to see it and speak it. One day, he could not say one sentence. Now, he talks about his morning in English. That is not magic. That is practice. Small practice, daily practice. That is the secret. That is determination.
So, tomorrow morning, when you wake up, try this. Say 3 sentences in English. Look around your room. What do you see? What do you do? Speak out loud. No one is watching. No one is judging. You are safe. You are free to speak. You are not just learning English. You are changing your mind. You are training your brain. This is not just a routine. This is power. The power of simple English. The power of one new sentence every day. And one day, you will smile and say, I remember the first time I said, I wake up. That was the beginning. Now I can speak. Let's keep going. Chapter 2. He eats breakfast. After he wakes up and gets ready, he feels hungry. His stomach makes a sound. It says, Feed me. So he goes to the kitchen. His kitchen is very small. They cook with fire. He says, I eat breakfast. These 4 words are his new English practice. He speaks them slowly. He says, I eat breakfast. It is simple, but it is English, and he is using it. He opens the cupboard. He takes out a plate. It is a metal plate. He says, This is my plate. His mother gives him food. It is roti Indian bread from last night, or maybe some rice. Their breakfast is not big. It is simple food. He says, I eat roti, or I eat rice. He says, I am thankful for this food. Each action becomes a sentence. Each sentence becomes practice. He doesn't need hard grammar. He only needs real life. He sits on the floor. He says, I sit on the floor. He takes a bite. He says, I eat my breakfast. He drinks water. He says, I drink water. If he drinks chai, he says, I drink tea. If he eats fruit, he says, I eat a banana. These small sentences help him speak. He is not reading a book. He is not filling in blanks. He is living English. That is the best kind of learning. Some days he eats alone. Some days he eats with his family. He says, I eat with my mother, or my brother eats with me. He asks simple questions in his mind. Do you want tea? Is this your cup? One day he will ask them out loud. These are beginner sentences, but they are powerful because he uses them in his real morning. Sometimes he feels lazy. He wants to skip practice, but then he remembers. English is not just about books. It is about life, his new life. If he can say, I eat breakfast, then he is growing. If he can say, this is hot, or this is sweet, then he is learning. Even one word helps.
He tries to add feeling words too. He says, I feel happy, or I feel sleepy. Maybe he says, the tea is warm. It makes me feel good. Now he is not just using English, he is feeling it. He is expressing his world in English. That is how he becomes fluent, little by little. He also practices with his phone. He opens the camera. He says, Good morning. Today I eat rice. I drink water. I feel fine. He smiles at the camera. He watches the video. He says, Wow, I can speak. This gives him hope. This gives him joy. When he first started, he did not know these words. He only said, eat, tea, rice. But now he can say, I eat breakfast every day. I like tea. I feel fresh after eating. These are full sentences. These are the result of small practice. You don't need a teacher for this. He is his own teacher. Just look at your food. Talk about it. He says, this is sweet. This is hot. I like this. I don't like that. Even if it's just one sentence, he says it. His brain will listen. His tongue will remember. He doesn't wait for perfect English. He uses the English he has now. He speaks slowly. He speaks clearly. He speaks from his heart. That is enough. That is powerful. Sometimes he thinks of new words. He asks his mother, "What is this?" She tells him in their language. He checks his phone. He learns one new word. Maybe it is spoon. Maybe it is milk. He says it out loud. "This is a spoon. I drink milk." And now he has 2 more tools in his English box. He also tries to repeat. He says the same sentences every morning. I eat breakfast. I drink tea. I feel good. He doesn't change them. Repeating helps. Repeating makes him faster. Repeating makes him confident. He remembers when he could not say anything. Now he can say what he eats. That is big progress. That is proof that he is learning. That is why he smiles in the morning. If you are learning English, do this tomorrow. When you eat, speak. Say simple things. Say them out loud. Even if you're alone, speak. Don't think, "I will speak later." Speak now. This is your moment. One day, you will sit at a table with someone important, and you will say, "I eat bread, I like tea," and they will understand you. You will smile, they will smile, and you will feel proud. This is how it begins, with breakfast, with small words, with real life. Keep going. You're doing great. Chapter 3. He goes to work or school. After breakfast, it's time for him to leave. He gets ready. He picks up his bag. It is an old bag. He says, "I go to work." Or he says, "I go to college." His college is small, but it is his chance. These are real words. He uses them every day. That means they are important. That means they are good for practice. He walks to the door. He says, "I leave my house." He closes the door. He says, "I lock the door." He takes a deep breath. A new part of his day begins. He wants to speak English during every part of his day. This part is about going outside. He walks on the dusty road. He looks around. He sees cows, bikes, people. He says, "I see many cows. I see some people." He keeps walking. The walk is long, maybe 5 kilometers. He says, "I walk to college," or "I walk to the bus stop." These words are part of his life. He says them slowly. He feels strong when he says them. If he takes a bus, he says, "I wait for the bus." The bus is old and crowded. When the bus comes, he says, "The bus is here." He gets on the bus. He finds a place to stand. He says, "I stand on the bus." He looks outside. He says, "I see trees. I see shops." These sentences are small, but they are real. He does these things every day. Now he speaks them in English. Some days he rides a bike, an old bike. He says, I ride my bike. Some days, he goes by car, but this is rare. He says, I go in a car. These are useful phrases. He practices them while he travels. He doesn't need to study from a book. He just looks around and speaks. He also says how he feels. I feel sleepy, or I feel excited, or I feel tired. These words help him connect to the language. He doesn't just speak about actions. He speaks about emotions. That makes his English real. That makes it strong. He looks at the clock on his phone. He says, it is 8 a.m. Time words help him build better sentences. I go to college at 8 a.m. I arrive at 8:15. These words are easy to learn. He uses them every morning. If someone is with him, he practices with them. His friend, maybe. He says, are you ready? His friend smiles. He answers in their language. It becomes a real conversation. He doesn't need long talks. He needs small chats. One question, one answer. That's all it takes to begin. He remembers the first time he said, I go to college. It felt strange. His voice was soft. He was unsure. But now he says it with confidence, because he said it again and again. That is the key. Say it many times. Say it every day. If you stay at home, you can still practice. You can say, I walk in my house, or I go to the kitchen, or I sit on my chair. Your home is full of English practice. You just need to speak it. Some learners wait for a class to speak, but you don't have to wait. He doesn't wait. You can talk during your walk. You can talk on the bus. You can talk to yourself in English. It's not strange, it's smart. He also thinks in English. He looks at people and thinks, he is walking. She is talking on the phone. These small thoughts are practice. They are quiet, but they are powerful. One day, a tourist was lost in his town. The tourist asked, where is the station? His friends were silent. Rohan was scared. But he answered, go straight, then turn right. He said it in simple English. The tourist smiled and said, thank you. That moment gave him power. It showed him he can use English in the real world. So today, when you go to work or school, speak. Say what you do. Say what you see. Say how you feel. Even 2 words help. Even 1 sentence helps. Just speak. If you do this every day, your English will grow. Your fear will go away. Your brain will learn faster. You will become confident. You don't need to say big things. Just say real things. I walk. I see trees. I wait. I sit. I go. These words are your tools. Use them. Build your English with them. The more you speak, the more you believe. The more you believe, the better you become. His morning journey is not just a walk to college. It's a path to fluency. It's his path to a new life. Take the first step. Speak now. Chapter 4. He works or studies. Now he arrives. He reaches college. Or he reaches his work. His work is hard. He lifts boxes in a shop. Or he works on a farm. But he practices. He takes a breath. His day has begun. He says, I start my work. Or I start my class. These words help him begin in English too. He sits on his chair. The chair is hard wood. He opens his bag. He takes out his notebook. He says, This is my notebook. I write in it. He takes out a pen. He says, This is my pen. I use it every day.
These small words connect to real life. He looks at the clock. It is 9 a.m. I begin. At college, he listens to the teacher. The room is hot and full. He says, I listen carefully. He reads the board. The writing is small. He says, I read what is on the board. He takes notes. He says, I write down what I learn. Every action is practice. Every sentence is a chance. At work, he stands at his place. He says, I work at the shop. He lifts a box. He says, I lift the box. He talks to a customer. He says, I help the customer. These are easy words. These are useful words. These are real. His boss shouts in their language. One day, Rohan will speak to him in English. Sometimes his brain feels tired. English feels heavy. But he stops. He takes a breath. He says, It's okay. One sentence is enough. He says, I study. I try. I grow. And he smiles. Because he is learning. He remembers when he could not speak at all. Now he can say, I go to college. I sit in class. I study math. I read a book. These are full sentences. These are his steps. Each word is a step forward. He also speaks to himself during class or work. In his head, he says, He is the teacher. He is writing. Or she is asking a question. He thinks in English, quietly. But that quiet practice becomes power. When he raises his hand, he says, I have a question. It is a small line, but it is big for him. It takes courage. It takes heart. But he does it. And every time he does, he feels stronger. Sometimes he makes mistakes. He says the wrong word. He forgets the grammar. He feels shy. But then he remembers mistakes are part of learning. They are not bad. They are good. Because they show he is trying. They show his determination. If he gets confused, he asks for help. He says, Can you say that again? Or, what does that mean? These sentences help him grow. They show that he is brave. He is not afraid to learn. He also practices small conversations. He says, good morning. He asks, how are you? He says, I am fine, thank you. These are not hard, but they are real. They are how people talk. And he wants to talk too. When the teacher asks a question, he tries to answer. Maybe he says just a few words, but it matters. He says, this is my answer. Even if he's wrong, he learns. He listens to others. He learns new words. He says, that's a new word. I will use it tomorrow. He uses his notebook to collect these words. He writes them down. He says them again and again. He looks at them before class. He uses them after class. They are his small treasures. He grows one word at a time. When he studies, he says, I study English. I read stories. I write sentences. These are real actions. These are real sentences. They help him speak about his learning. That gives him pride. At work, he speaks about his tasks. I lift boxes. I clean the floor. I help customers. These are true sentences. He speaks them out loud when he is alone. It feels good to say what he does in English. Every word he speaks is a step. Every sentence he says is power. He doesn't wait for the perfect moment. He uses the moment he has. That is how he learns. That is how he wins. If you are in school or at work, speak about what you do. Say it in simple English. Even if no one is listening, say it. You are training your brain. You are building your voice. And your voice is strong. Every day you learn a little more. Every day you go a little farther. Keep going. You are doing something amazing. You are not just working. You are not just studying. You are building a new version of yourself, one sentence at a time. Chapter 5. He talks with friends. After he studies, or while he works, he sees his friends. They walk near him. They smile. They say, "Hi, Rohan," in their language. And he smiles too. He says, "Hello." This simple word is powerful. It makes him feel happy. It helps him speak English. He says, "How are you?" His friend laughs. He says, "I'm fine. And you?" He is trying too. Rohan answers, "I'm good." These are small sentences, but they are real. They are how people talk. He feels proud when he says them, because he is speaking. He is connecting. He sits with his friends. They talk. He says, "What are you doing?" His friend says, "I'm reading." He says, "That's nice." He asks, "Do you like the book?" These words are easy, but this is a real conversation. This is how he grows. Sometimes he feels shy. His friends speak very fast in their language. He thinks, "What if I say the wrong word?" But then he breathes. He reminds himself, making mistakes is okay. His determination is stronger than his shyness. His friends are kind. They do not laugh in a bad way. They help him. They smile. They wait for him to speak.
He learns new phrases. He asks, "What does that mean?" His friend explains. He says, "Thank you." He writes the word down. He tries to use it tomorrow. That is how he remembers. That is how he learns. With real talk, with real people. Sometimes they joke, they laugh. He says, "That is funny." He feels good. He feels included. He feels like part of the group. English helps him feel that way. English helps him belong. When they eat lunch together, he says, "This food is good," or "I like rice." He asks, "What do you like?" His friend says, "I like chicken." He says, "Me too." These are simple talks, but they are important. They are practice, and they are joy. He remembers when he couldn't talk. He sat in silence. He looked at others. He wanted to speak, but the words did not come. He felt sad. He felt small. But now he speaks. Slowly, simply, but he speaks. And that makes all the difference. He uses the same words again and again. Hi, hello, how are you? I'm good. I like this. Thank you. These are his building blocks. He uses them every day. He does not wait for new grammar. He uses what he knows. That is how he gets better. One time, he forgot a word. He stopped talking. His friend helped him. She said the word for him. He repeated it. He smiled. She smiled. That moment stayed with him. It taught him something. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to try. Your will is more important than your skill. They also talk about class. He asks, "Did you understand the lesson?" His friend says, "A little." He says, "Me too. Let's study together." Then they help each other. They learn together. That feels good. Speaking with friends is safe. It is fun. It is full of little moments. These little moments help him grow. He says more. He feels better. He becomes stronger. Even if your friend speaks your first language, ask, "Can we try in English?" Just one sentence, just for fun. Then try 2 sentences, then 3. You will smile. You will feel proud. If you have no friend around, talk to yourself. He says, "I will ask this. I will answer like this." He imagines the talk. He practices it in his mind. This is not strange. This is smart. This is how great speakers begin. You don't need a big vocabulary to speak. You just need your voice, your words, your heart. And you already have those. Talk to one person. Say one sentence. Say it slowly. Say it with joy. You are not just learning English. You are building a new life. A life where you speak. A life where you connect. A life where you are not silent. One sentence can open a door. One smile can open your voice. Talk with friends. Talk without fear. Talk and grow. You are doing so well. Keep speaking. Chapter 6. He eats lunch. After a busy morning of work or study, he feels hungry again. His stomach makes a sound. It says, "It's time to eat." He smiles. He says, "It is lunchtime." This is a good part of the day, not just because of food, but because it is also time to speak English in a real and easy way. He sits down, under a tree maybe, not in a big cafe. He takes out his lunch. It is in a metal box, a tiffin. He looks at the food. He says, "This is my lunch." He opens his box. He says, "I have rice. I have dal, lentils." He takes a spoon. He says, "This is my spoon." He begins to eat. He says, "I eat rice. I drink water." These sentences are easy, but they are powerful because they are true. If he is eating with his friends, he speaks more. He says, "This food is hot," or "It is spicy," or "I like the taste." His friend says, "Me too," or "I don't like it." They laugh, they talk, they connect, and all of it happens in English. He asks questions. "What do you have?" His friend says, "I have a sandwich." He says, "It looks good." He asks, "Did you make it?" They say, "Yes." He says, "Nice job." These are small sentences, but they make big moments. They help him speak without fear. Sometimes they share food. He says, "Do you want some?" His friend says, "Thank you." He says, "You're welcome." These kind words build his confidence. They help him feel strong in English. He also talks about feelings. "I am hungry." "I feel full now." "I want more." "I like sweet food."
These words are easy to say, and they are very useful in life. He remembers when he couldn't say anything. He just ate his food in silence. He watched others talk. He felt left out. He wanted to speak, but he was afraid. He was shy. He was quiet. But now things are different because he started to speak. One word, one sentence, one day at a time. His will is his power. Sometimes he takes a photo of his lunch. He says, "This is my lunch today. Rice and dal. I like it." He posts it. He uses English. It feels fun. It feels good. He's using what he learns. That's the best way to grow. He also learns food words in English. He sees a fruit. He asks, "What is this in English?" He checks. He learns. He says, "This is papaya. I like papaya." Then he says it again the next day. It becomes part of his English, part of his voice. You don't need hard grammar to talk about food. You just need your eyes, your hands, and your heart. Look at your lunch. Speak about it. Use simple words. He says, "I have bread. I eat it. I like it." That's English. That's progress. If he's alone at lunch, he talks to himself. He says, "I am eating rice. It is hot. It tastes good." This is not silly. This is smart. This is how he builds his future. Lunch is not just a break. It is practice time. It is a chance. Every bite can be a sentence. Every meal can be a lesson. You don't need a book. You don't need a class. You only need your voice. Sometimes he even closes his eyes. He eats and thinks, "How do I say this in English?"
He feels the food. He finds the words. Then he speaks. Softly, slowly, but clearly. He eats every day, so he can practice every day. That is the secret. Small practice, daily practice, speaking about what is real. That's the best kind of learning. You don't need new tools. You already have what you need. Your mouth, your eyes, your hands, your day. Use them. Speak with them. Say what you eat. Say what you like. Say how you feel. That is your power. That is your English. Lunch is simple, but it is powerful because it is real. And real life is the best classroom. So tomorrow, when you eat lunch, say one sentence in English. Then say two. Then three. Say them out loud. Say them with pride. You are learning. You are growing. You are doing something amazing. Keep going. Chapter 7. He comes home. The day is long. He feels tired. His body aches from work. He finishes college. He finishes work. Now he goes home. He says, I go home. These three words are simple, but they are the start of something important. They are the start of the evening part of his day. He walks to the bus stop. He says, I wait for the bus. The bus comes. It is crowded. He gets on. He says, I stand on the bus. He looks out the window. The sun is going down. He says, the sun is going down. He feels the day ending, and he speaks about it in English. Some days he walks home, the long 5-kilometer walk. He says, I walk to my house. He looks at the sky. He says, the sky is orange. He sees children playing. He says, they are playing football. He sees shops. He says, the shops are open. These are not hard words, but they help him speak about the real world. He reaches his house. He opens the door. He says, I am home. These words feel warm. They feel safe. He takes off his shoes. He says, I take off my shoes. He puts down his bag. He says, I put my bag on the chair. These sentences are small, but they are his daily steps, and he speaks them. He goes to his room. He says, this is my room. He sits on his mat. He says, I feel tired. He smiles. He says, it was a good day. Or he says, I feel sleepy. These are his feelings. He speaks them in English. They are true. That makes them powerful. He looks around his home. He sees his things. He says, this is my table. These are my books. He only has 2 books. This is my phone. Every item becomes a word. Every word becomes a sentence. Every sentence becomes learning. He goes to the bathroom. He washes his face. He says, I wash my face. He looks in the mirror. He says, I see myself.
He is tired. His face is dirty from the road. But he feels proud. He spoke English today. He used his voice. He used his mind. He feels strong. Sometimes he sits with his family. He says, I talk with my mother. Or, my brother is watching TV. He listens to their voices. He speaks simple sentences. He says, How was your day? They answer. He says, That's nice. These are real talks. These are real steps forward. He also thinks about what he learned today. He asks himself, What new word did I say today? He tries to say it again. He tries to use it in a sentence. He says, Today I learned home. I say, I am home. He smiles. He repeats it. He feels happy. If he made mistakes, he doesn't feel bad. He says, Mistakes help me learn. He knows that every speaker starts small, and now he is one of them. He is not just a poor boy. He is a speaker. He picks up his notebook. He writes one sentence. He writes, I came home at 5 p.m. He writes, I feel tired, but proud. These are his words. This is his story. This is his English. He does not wait for big moments to practice. He uses small ones. He uses real ones. He uses the quiet time after he comes home. Because this time is his. This time is peaceful, and peace helps him learn. He also talks to himself. He says, I had a long day. I studied hard. I talked with my friend. I ate lunch. I came home. This is like telling a story, his story, in English. That makes him feel strong. That makes him feel good. One day he could not say these things. Now he says them easily. He did not learn them in one day. He learned them little by little. With real life, with small sentences, with his own voice. Coming home is not just the end of the day. It is the start of reflection. It is the time to look back and speak. To say, this was my day, and to say it in English. So when you come home today, take 1 minute. Say, I am home. I take off my shoes. I sit on my bed. I feel tired. I feel happy. Say it softly. Say it clearly. Say it for yourself. That is your practice. That is your progress. You are not just coming home, you are coming closer to fluency. Step by step, sentence by sentence. Keep going. You are doing great. Chapter 8. He watches TV or studies English. The day is almost over. He comes home. He changes his clothes. He sits down. He rests. He takes a deep breath. His body feels tired, but his mind is still working. His determination is still strong. Now he does something he enjoys. He says, I watch TV. Or he says, I study English. Sometimes he does both. He picks up the remote. They have a very old small TV. He says, I turn on the TV. He looks at the screen. He says, this is a movie. Or, this is the news. He sits and watches. He tries to listen. If it's in English, he pays attention. He says, I listen to English. That is a big step. That is good practice. He hears a new word. He says, what is that word? He checks it on his phone. The internet is slow in his village, but he waits. He writes it down. He says it again. He tries to remember it. He feels happy. One new word is progress. One word is a gift. Sometimes he watches videos on his phone. He says, "This is a YouTube video." He searches for English videos. He says, "Learn English." He finds short videos with easy words. He listens, he repeats, he smiles, because he understands more than yesterday. He listens to how people speak. He says the sentences with them. He copies their voice. This is called shadowing. It helps him speak better. He says, "This is my way of learning." He doesn't just watch, he learns. He grows. Some days he doesn't watch TV. He studies English. He opens his notebook. He says, "I study now." He looks at his words. He reads his sentences. He says them out loud. I eat lunch. I go home. I watch TV. These are his words, his life, his English. He tries to write one sentence about his day. Today, I was happy. Or, I talked with my friend. Or, I ate a banana. He reads it. He smiles. He writes one more. That's how he builds his skills, one line at a time. He also practices speaking. He says, "I speak English now."
He says, "I feel good today. I learned a new word. I said a new sentence." He looks in the mirror. He speaks slowly. He hears his voice. He feels brave. Some days he doesn't want to study. He feels lazy. He feels tired. But he remembers his goal. He wants to speak English. He wants to grow. He wants to change his life. So he says, just 1 minute, just one sentence. And he begins. And that 1 minute becomes 5. That one sentence becomes 3. He's glad he started. He remembers when he didn't understand anything. He heard English, and it was just noise. Now he hears words. He hears meaning. He feels proud. That is not magic. That is effort. That is time. That is determination. He also speaks with apps. He uses free learning apps. They show him pictures and words. He says the word. The app listens. It tells him, "Good job." That makes him smile. It feels like a small teacher in his pocket. He practices anywhere, anytime. Sometimes he listens to English songs. He says, "This is a song." He sings along. He doesn't know every word, but he tries. He says, "I can sing in English." That feels special. That feels powerful. Even when he rests, he learns. He says, "I learn with my ears. I learn with my eyes. I learn with my heart." That is real learning. That is learning with love. At night, he writes a small note. Today, I watched TV in English. I learned a new word. I practiced speaking. These notes remind him he is not stuck. He is moving. He is becoming the person he wants to be. You don't need long hours. You don't need many books. You just need small time, small focus, big heart. That's enough. You are enough. So tonight, when you watch TV or study English, speak one line out loud. Say, "I understand," or "I try."
Or, I want to speak well. That is a promise to yourself. That is your daily gift. You are learning every day. You are doing something wonderful. Keep going. Keep believing. You are closer than you think. Chapter 9. He eats dinner and talks with family. It is evening now. The sky is dark. The lights are on. They have one bulb in the room. He hears sounds in the kitchen. Plates, spoons, voices. It is time for dinner. He feels hungry again. He smiles and says, "I eat dinner." He goes to the kitchen. He sees his family. His mother is cooking. His father is sitting. His brother is laughing. He says, "Good evening." They say, "Come, sit with us." They sit on the floor. He feels warm. He feels happy. He feels safe. He looks at the food. He says, "This looks good." He says, "I like this." Or, "This smells nice." He takes a spoon. He takes a bite. He says, "It is hot." Or, "It is tasty." These words are easy, but they make him speak. They make him feel part of the moment. They talk while they eat. His father asks, "How was your day?" in their language. Rohan answers, "It was good. I learned a new word." Or, "I talked with my friend in English." His mother smiles. She says, "That's nice." He feels proud. He feels loved. He feels understood. They talk about many things, about college, about work, about food. He says, "Today I was busy," or "Today was fun," or "I was tired." These words are part of his story. He says them in English. He shares himself. His brother talks about his day. He listens. He asks questions. He says, "Really?" Or, "What happened next?" Or, "That's funny." They laugh. They connect. English helps him join the moment. It helps him feel close. Sometimes he teaches his family a word. He says, "This means water" in English. They listen. They smile. They ask him more. He feels like a teacher. That gives him joy. Maybe he is changing their lives too. If no one is talking, he still speaks to himself in his mind. He says, "I eat rice. I drink water. I sit with my family." These small sentences are still practice, still power, still English. Sometimes they talk about tomorrow. He says, "Tomorrow I will study." Or, "I will watch a video." Or, "I will speak more." He makes a plan. He says it out loud. He believes it more. When he started, he couldn't say anything at dinner. He just ate in silence. Now he can say small things. He can join the talk. He can ask. He can answer. That is not a small win. That is a big win. Dinner is not just about food. It is about people. It is about sharing. And when he speaks English during dinner, he feels something special. He feels progress. He feels confidence. He also learns new words. If he doesn't know a word for something, he asks.
What is this in English? He finds out. He repeats it. This is spinach. This is soup. This is spicy. He uses the word again tomorrow. That's how it becomes his. After dinner, he helps clean. He says, I wash the plates. Or, I dry the cups. He speaks while he works. He says, I like helping. Or, I feel full. Or, that was good. These are true words. That makes them strong. Speaking at dinner is easy because he is home, because he feels safe, because the people around him care. This is the best place to practice, the best place to grow. You don't need big grammar. You don't need long sentences. You only need to speak. Even if it's just, I like this, or that was nice. That is enough. That is English. Dinner happens every day. That means you can practice every day. You can build your voice. You can build your confidence. One bite, one word, one sentence at a time. So tonight, when you sit to eat, say one thing in English. Say, I eat dinner. Say, this is tasty. Say, I feel happy. Speak softly. Speak clearly. Speak with your heart. You are not just learning a language. You are building a new life. A life where you can speak. A life where you can share. A life where your words have power. Keep going. The table is not just a place to eat. It is a place to learn. A place to connect. A place to grow. Chapter 10. He sleeps and thinks in English. The day is over. The sky is dark. The stars shine. His village is quiet. He feels sleepy. His body is tired. His eyes close slowly. It is time to sleep. He says softly, I go to bed. He walks to his room. He changes his clothes. He says, I wear my night clothes. He folds his clothes. He places them on a chair. He says, I keep my clothes here. Every action is practice. Every sentence is English. He speaks them softly. He speaks them slowly. He sits on the mat. He looks at the clock. He says, it is 10 o'clock. He feels peaceful. He takes a deep breath. He thinks about his day. He remembers the morning. He says, I woke up. I brushed my teeth. I ate breakfast. He remembers college or work. He says, I studied. I talked with friends. I came home. He remembers dinner. He says, I ate with my family. I spoke English. These small memories become small sentences, and these small sentences become his story. Now he lies down. He says, I lie on my mat. He pulls the blanket. He says, I cover myself. He looks up. He closes his eyes. But before he sleeps, he does something special. He thinks in English. He says in his mind, today was a good day. He thinks, I spoke English. I learned new words. I made sentences. He feels proud. He smiles. This is his success. This is his journey. Some days he speaks out loud before sleep. He says, I am strong. I am learning. I will speak English. These words go into his heart. He believes them. He feels calm. He feels ready for tomorrow. He knows he is not perfect. He makes mistakes. He forgets words. But he keeps going. He doesn't give up. He says, I will try again tomorrow. This is the power of practice. Not once, not twice, but every day. This is the power of determination. Sometimes he listens to English before sleep. He plays a short, quiet audio. He hears soft voices. He hears simple words. He says the words in his mind. This is peaceful. This is learning in silence. His ears hear, his brain learns. Even in sleep, he grows. He also imagines small stories. He thinks, I am walking in a park. I see a friend and I say, hello, how are you? He creates the story in English. He becomes the storyteller. This is fun. This is helpful. This makes his English stronger. Before, he used to sleep in silence. He did not speak. He did not think in English. He was scared. He felt alone. But now he speaks one line before sleep. He says, I am learning, I am growing, and he feels safe. English is not only for class, it is for life. And life happens every day, even at night, even when he is alone. That is why he uses this time. That is why he speaks softly in the dark, because he knows these small sentences will become big results. One day he will speak English without fear. One day he will speak to anyone, anywhere. He believes that, and every night he reminds himself of that. He says, I can do it.
And he will. So tonight, before you sleep, try this. Say one sentence in English.
Say, I feel tired. Or, today was good. Or, I want to learn more. Say it with love. Say it with hope. It does not have to be loud, just honest, just true. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, feel proud. You did your best today. You showed up, you practiced, you spoke. That is a big success. Now rest. Sleep with peace. Sleep with English. Sleep with belief. Because you are not just learning English. You are building your voice. You are becoming the person you dreamed of. Good night. This is his day. It is not a big life. It is not an easy life. But it is his life. And he is changing it, one sentence at a time. If he can do this, a poor boy from a small village with a slow phone and a hard job, then what is your excuse? You don't need money. You don't need a perfect school. You only need two things: your life and your will. Your determination is your teacher. Your day is your book. So this is his challenge to you. Tomorrow, do not be silent. When you wake up, speak. When you eat, speak. When you walk, speak. Speak to yourself. Speak to the world. Your English is not just English. It is your voice. It is your power. It is your future. You are not alone. Keep speaking, keep growing, and never, ever let anyone tell you who you are. Go and build your future.